This night, I want to talk about missing encounter. Missing encounter. You know, I've seen a lot of us, Christians, suffer from this. However, it sounds very simple, but the major problem with us is we have missed encounters. What makes a man is the encounters he catch. And what makes a man, okay, let me rephrase. What makes a man honorable, or what makes a man, notable, is the encounters he was able to capture. And what made a man a failure is the encounters he never captured. I'll put it to you this way. If you ask every poor persons you see today, very poor, have you noticed that every one of them, they would always have a time they had the opportunity to be rich. Every one of them. So every of our father here, if you ask them and they are humble enough to tell you, they'll tell you. I told you my father's story, and he advised me with it. And I picked it up and I ran with it. He said to me, I want to advise you. He said, I want to give you some kind of advice. And the advice he gave to me is worth more than him even training me to school. So he said to me, he said, two things that destroyed him that he wants to tell me about. He said the first is women. No, he said three things rather. He said, but one, you have conquered it. I don't know how, but between you and God, alcohol. He said the next is women. He said they were clapping for him, my father. He said they were clapping for him. I've seen his picture when he was young. Very cute. Very fine. So, he was a prophet. And he was also in the choir. He would still drum, So all the choir ladies wanted him. It's not easy to see a prophet that is a singer also. All the ladies in the choir wanted him. So it was raining. His name was everywhere. And by the time he impregnates somebody, the father never really scolded him. Because as at then, children were counted as an advantage. And he said his grandfather, the father of his grandfather never had much. So they encouraged children. So the women were everywhere. And today it has become a disadvantage. Then the next one he said to me, he said, my son, hold on to opportunity when you see it. Hold on to opportunity when you see it. So I've shared a story here where some generals came to my father and they said, we heard about you. We heard about your exploit. My father was a rating, and these were generals. My father was not even worthy of people that would guard them. My father was not worthy of people that would stand and guard them and be their security. All the same, they came to my father and they said, we have heard of you. They called my father to the office, so my father went and they said, we have heard of you. Now, there's a certain issue with Abasha and whatever. But somebody led us to you. And they say that if you pray, Abasha is going to forget. Then they were to face Oputa Panel. If you were born early enough, you understand Oputa Panel. When you get there, you may even end at firing squad. Like people like Obasanjo faced Oputa Panel. It was a military court. A military court. So if it were to be military rule, it is not this Supreme Court anymore. It is Oputa Panel. So they were to face Oputa Panel. And the case was on. It was about some very huge amounts of money. And they were guilty. So they called my father. And my father said, meet me in church. And then I knew my father, I was just a very small boy. He was always fasting, always praying, always fasting. In fact, our house is uninteresting then. Because if you come, you fast. Because even the children of the house are fasting. I started doing 6 to 6. I've not even known time. So they tell me when to start and when to stop. And we'll be in church, we'll be praying. Shine for me, shine for me, shine for me. So they came to meet my father. My father prayed for them. After prayer, I still remember all he did. After prayer, he told them to go. Okay, let me explain. He told them to bring head of yam that they used to plant. They brought the head of yam. He told them to fry it. They fry it in our house. Fry it very dry. He told them to plant it. They planted it. He told them to cover it. They covered it. He said the day the head of the yam grow, that's the day Abasha will remember. Obviously, the yam will not grow. So they went to the office. Instead of Oputa Panel, they promoted them. So they became my father's protocol. One by this side, one by this side. I mean generals. I mean people you see on TV, not in the barracks. This red on TV, not in the barracks. So I remember they'll carry my father's bag and be running after my father. When they come to the church, they were my father's protocol. But when they get to the office, my father is not even worthy to enter their office. So they asked my father, they said, what can we do for you now? It's okay. We want to give you multiple promotion before we leave, because they were in charge of the military. And my father said to them, he said, no. And not long, they retired. Not long, age, they began my father told me, he said, my greatest regret, he said, I had plenty like that. It was raining. So his greatest regret was that he never took the opportunity. Please listen to me. When a child that has no parents, hear the one that has parents advising the child. The child that has no parents learn. I brought this message because for some of you, I even used to wonder if you are a member of R.O because you are daft. Yes. So I'm talking all nice. I'll soon begin to spit fire. I begin to wonder, are we attending the same church? And when people hear of your exploit, those are the things they say. They say, but we attend the same church. But yes. So weekly service like this is to raise men. So my father said to me, he said, all this prophetic you are doing, he said, you know me. I've been there before you. He said, but one thing, try and not miss this and not miss that. Like I'll say, there's nothing new. My grandfather built a church first before he built his house. And he died in the process of building his house. My father built a church before he built his house. I built a church before I built my house. There's nothing new. My children too will build church before they build their house. Are you ready this night? So this is a father to son advice. That we may not miss encounter. Let me tell you some things about encounter you may never thought of. You may never have thought of. The first thing about encounter, the uniqueness of encounter is the opportunity of encounter come but once. If it will come again in another season, not the same time. So the opportunity of encounter come but once. If it were to come again, it comes again in another season. Can I shock you? You can never miss an encounter this year and pray for it to come again, except the season again. I've taught you something. I say, God forgives sins, but the consequences stays. God forgives sins, but the consequences stays. Just like you impregnated a girl, God will forgive you for fornication, right? I'm an oracle. I'm already prophesying. And who I'm talking to already know. So, God forgives you for fornication, right? But how about the pregnancy? Will the pregnancy leave? No. A man of God came one time and he said he was so anointed that a lady got pregnant out of wedlock that he laid his hands and he commanded the pregnancy and the thing just bleed. And my wife packed the Bible and my wife left the scene. And me, I was still in the spirit. I was still shabagadabiga, lagadaga. When I heard that, I paused. Is this real? Let me mind my business. Oh, my wife left. And that was one of the biggest scams that the church saw. Everybody lost money. And I didn't lose money, not because I was wise, but because I didn't have. So all I had was 10 naira. And I put it in the envelope. My God. Encounters don't come back like you have an appointment, then I miss you today, I'll just go tomorrow. Let me start from the elementary. If God were to tell you, do 6 to 6 for 7 days, I want to show you something, and you miss the 6 to 6 for 7 days, your grace cover from day 1 to day 7. If that 7-day pass and you didn't do it, you wait for another season. The another season may be another month, it may be another year, and it may be another 30 years. Yes, I'm talking from experience. Encounter. That is why we need the anointing of the sons of the Issachar. The Bible says they had this discernment to understand the times and season. They understood these stuff. It never eluded them. By so doing, they were at the forefront. All Israel had to wait for them to move before they move, to talk before they talk. It puts you in the space of leadership. So I said something. I said, every poor man you know today, when you go and ask them. They all have opportunity to be rich at one time. In fact, some of them will be telling you stories. 1990 this. 1684. 14. They all have story in their mouth. Every one of them. So my father gave me these words like 10 years ago. And I reminded him in his birthday, and he began to cry. I think like 4 or 5 years ago. I reminded him and he began to cry. And I too, I began to cry. The greatest gift I received from him. At the end of this message, you understand why I am like this. And why some of you may think I'm doing Yahoo. You know what you think does not matter because you are broke. It doesn't. Very good. So the first thing about encounter, when you miss an encounter, you wait for another season, not another time. You don't know the time. And I made an example. I said, if God tell you 7 days, I'll show you heaven. And that was 7 days, he told you to fast and you choose to be eating. All your grace cover that 7 days. By the time the 7 days pass, it will take another angel. That was the example of the pool of Bethesda. Where after the angel come, if you notice, it's not the same time the angel used to come. So they need to wait around the pool. They wait around the pool. When they wait around the pool, if they knew the time the angel was going to come, they would have stayed there. They would have even stayed it out. But they don't know the time of the encounter, so they wait around the pool till another season. Then the angel comes. They stir up the water. Then the first to get into the water is clean. Always the first. That's how encounters are. Encounters carries opportunity in them. If you miss an encounter, you have missed an opportunity. If you miss an opportunity, in fact, there's a lot tied to opportunity. Imagine when the bush was burning and Moses passed and left there. What happened? Perhaps God would have sent someone else, because God can never be stranded. I told you what God said to me when I say, Akure, they are broke. I'll never come here. So I was negotiating with God. I said, how about Abuja? He didn't talk. I said, okay. How about Calabar? There's already a hall. My father built a hall there. How about Calabar? I was praying. I'll be saying in my mind, and Lord, you know, this deliverance, I love it. By the time I enter Calabar, I'll turn it upside down. Because a lot need deliverance. And God will not answer. And I'll say, for the last time, let me pray. And I'll fast 3 days. And I'll be praying. And I'll see the map of Akure. I'll say, God, anywhere but here. I say, anywhere but here. I'll start up another prayer again. And God began to show me location. He said, there's an airport there. I say, airport? That useless place. Because I used to pass. And my route was around, what's it called? That's Lagos to Kogi. You know, it doesn't cut across here. Lagos to Kogi, you can bypass whatever, except you want to pass here by force. Then, Warri to Lagos, it doesn't cut across here. It's all rare. Warri to Kogi. Then Calabar to Kogi, it passed through the back. You know, Abia, Akwa Ibom, Enugu, then Benue, Ankpa, then you get to. So, I didn't really want anything to do. And my major reason was that The love of Yorubas were fake. I've explained here. Very fake. So I didn't want to come. And another thing, I saw how Yorubas treated TB Joshua. So I was scared. I didn't want to come. And God said, Akure, Akure, Akure. So one day, God showed me, I saw senators carrying my bag. Senators were protocols. Governors. They were carrying my bag and they were running, I was walking and they were running, they were following me. And I looked at them, By the time the vision cleared again, I said, no, I'm not going. I had another dream again after the vision. I saw them in government house and they said, man of God, we have been waiting for you. And I saw Ondo State House, whatever. And they said, we have been waiting for you, sir, plus the governor. And they welcomed me, they collected my bag, they came inside. I woke up from the dream. I said, I beg, anywhere but Akure. The next one I had, God told me, he said, don't worry, don't go again. I'll replace you. He said, don't go again. I'll just replace you. I carried my things. I said, now. I said, let me try. And everything I speculated about here happened. All Yorubas, they left me. They began to say, how will a prophet have BS? How will a prophet trust and not touch ground? You see the tembeleku I'm saying. How will a prophet be, because I didn't look like partial witch doctor that they knew and they called prophet. But the Igbos, the Jaws, they followed me. The day I would talk anyhow like a child, they understood that I'm a child. And they followed me till date. Before the Yorubas saw that this place is becoming sweet, then Yorubas began to join. Now, let me take you back to that story. Assuming I've missed that encounter, then I would have gone somewhere else. Then when I've gone to that somewhere else now, how would I know you? How would I know you? Then imagine your life without knowing this church. Some of you don't even want to imagine now. I know you. You know me. And we know each other. Imagine your life. I was saying something. I said, if some of the parents of these children here know what I'm doing, each time they will be buying me white fowl and yam. White cock, and I say, sacrifice. This guy, you are trying. But they don't know. And you know they don't know. But by now, you wouldn't have pretended thus far. Because by now, your color would have shown in your house. And they would have been taking your name from mountain to mountain. Now, what have you learned? You have learned that my encounter tied your encounter. So for every encounter a man misses, he's not just missing it for himself, he's missing it for his generation. Every man here, there's a generation tied to you. So your encounter may be about wealth. Your encounter may be about leadership. Your encounter may be about something deeper. Or if you miss it, your encounter may be about opportunity that you shouldn't let go. So I repeat something again. If you meet every wealthy man, they will link their wealth to a certain opportunity. If you meet any broke man, they link their brokenness and they tell you that at a point in time, they had the opportunity. Was it not 2019, 2020? We saw outbursts of money. And everybody seemed to have money. Then even the transporters began to increase it. Because some boys will not let us rest. They will enter bike with 1,000 naira and they'll say, keep the change. So some of us that could manage to iron our clothes straight, they think we are the same. So we enter bike and we give them 500 and they begin to look at us. Says, you still want to collect change? No, I will not collect. Now, that's why you can vividly trace most of them back. And you see them that they are not doing well as they used to. And some of them will die being a gate man. Not because God is not faithful, but because they have missed encounter. And when they miss that encounter, it will take another season and by grace. If not, that encounter is supposed to bet another encounter that will bet another encounter. So God has helped me today, right? And most of the updates I invested money in came from you. So imagine all together that I left you and I went to Abuja. Guess what? The people I looked at so much and I wanted to go to Abuja like them. It's an insult to compare their wealth to what God has done with me. It's an insult. Encounter. The opportunity you have today may be as a result of an encounter. Don't take it lightly. Because when you miss it, it will take another season. I know a lady. So I'm not talking about wealth alone. I know a lady. She was about to marry this guy. And the friends of the ladies, the lady, they will call the lady and say, this is your boyfriend. Look at his stomach. Look at his stomach. They started making fun of this guy. Later, the guy worked with UN. And the guy wanted to marry this lady. The guy worked with UN. And UN posted the guy to Ghana. And they mocked him. They say, UN is posting everybody to different parts of the world. They are posting you to Ghana. And the guy said, I want to marry you. The lady said, forget it. Because the friends will laugh at her and they say, with your boyfriend that is posted to Ghana. Fine. The guy was coming back from Ghana. He bought clothes. This Ghana native attire. He brought it to the lady. The lady looked at the clothes, laughed the guy to scorn. The guy said, please marry me. The lady said, no, I cannot marry you. Guess what? The guy went to marry somebody he loved less. After girl, the guy, UN carried the guy to Germany. The guy left for Germany and now a multi-millionaire. Guess what? As I speak to you now, the lady should be like 40. She's so single and lonely. Guess what again? The friend. A guy came to marry the friend. Bowed headed, shot. The front like this, no teeth. The friend said, I am afraid so that what happened to you will not happen to me. The friend married. This is the same friend that discouraged this lady. The friend married. That friend is in husband's house now. But this lady, so single. I'm telling you a life story. I think you know about it. A life story. Do you know why I'm saying this? Many of us, we have opportunities in our hand. And we have seen opportunity. And we are still young. But we don't know that this is an encounter. And by the time you miss it, it will take. Hey. It will take more than prayer. It will take more than Ogun Shogbobo. Ogun Ajegbobo. Atekpa. It will take more than that. Opportunity. I know a pastor that went somewhere. He had this first money. They called the land he was renting. They called it 800,000. He had the money. He went and instead of buying the land, he went to buy Corolla of 1.2. continue renting the land in Ibadan. I can't forget his story, because then he was the one that said that that God is using me. He said, but I was too small to be invited to his church. He said it. And my friend had. And my friend said, wait, we did not invited him. Is it not grace you have? Guess what? As I speak to you now, his church, maybe like R.O choir. Now, who is bigger? Forget about that. Only God knows who is bigger. The guy, one time, he went. Somebody said he wants to give him a Spider, Toyota Spider, from abroad. So he sold the Corolla. Was expecting to upgrade to Spider. Spider did not come. He used all the money of the Corolla to buy suit. Now landlord is saying, you need to live here. I'm looking for a buyer for the land. Guess what? Now the land is over 5 million naira. Aking Binle. Money, yeah. That's why I'm calling the environment. Just around the road. The man that made me leave Kogi and come here, he gave me one advice. He's the one I said he used to take me to king. So the man that was supposed to be king, take me to dignitaries. So just pray, prophesy. I've told you the story here. One day he called me and he said, he used to call me my prophet, and he said, my son. So I was surprised. This man called me my prophet. How come he's calling me my son? And he said, where did God send you to? I say, Akure. I say, but I don't like those people, those Yoruba people. And he said, are you not Yoruba? I say, I am. He said, where are you from? I said, funny enough, I'm from the same Ondo state. He said, you are from there? I said, yes. He now said, my son, I want to tell you something. He said, each time I see you, you remind me of how I was 20 years ago. I was like, wow. He said, I was one of the forefront son of Archbishop Benson Idahosa of blessed memory. He said, people love me. I prophesy like you. I pray like you. He said, one day I went to drop a seed to Archbishop Benson Idahosa. He said, while he was coming from Benin, he was around our Chi area, and God told him something. God said, I am sending you to Uromi. And he was in the car. He said, plus all the gift I have, plus how you are using me, you are now sending me to a village. Then Apostle John Suleiman was not in Auchi. So he packed his things. He went to Lagos. He did ministry in Lagos for 20 years. After 20 years, ministry fell in Lagos. He came back to Ayengba. He was doing ministry in Ayengba. He had, I think, 6 children or 5 thereabout, plus himself. And the total member of the church was 7 to 8. 7 to 8. 7 to 8. You should know that is a mega church. And he began to complain. He said, sir, please pray. And he began to pray. And God encountered him and said, I never sent you to Lagos, not Kogi. I sent you to Uromi after 20 years. And he removed his cap. He said, my son, he said, look at my white hair. He said, you see this white hair I used to start evangelism? Believe you me, if you are to start a church, you start from youth. Because you'll be frustrated. I'm telling you, it's setting. That's why if you see our fathers that were into ministry and didn't have the big break, go and ask them. Now they are frustrated. He opened his hair. He said, my son, you see this my white hair I used to go and be doing evangelism. And I cover it. And I say, my son, if God sent you to Akure He said, go now. If not, when you have white hair like this, you go at that time. I carried my things. I faced. I called Pastor Elijah. I said, Eli. I said, we dey go Akure. We gathered money. Straight we came. Now I'm happy that I came. I was young. I didn't know that my help come from above. I thought the environment matter. Guess what? This same man at his age, he went to Uromi, he gathered some people. He could not cope. Now he's back to Ayingba. He'll just go to Uromi and do little fellowship, come back to Ayingba. Because the Bible says, the strength of a man is in his youth. Now his bones are filled with the mistakes of his youth. And when you have mistake from your youth and you have crossed youth, the Bible says it will lie with you in the dust. I think Job 20. Don't carry those scars that you look at your children and you say, while I was your age, I had millions. Because this may be your encounter, your time of encounter. This may be that one encounter that will give birth to plenty. Sons of Issachar, they understood the time. This is the time where I've preached Sons of Issachar here many times. When was the last time you studied yourself, understanding that now you are in your time of strength? Now you can trek and nothing happens. But imagine trekking with 4 children. May that never be your portion. I remember when we gave birth to my first child, Okiki. And then it was faith. I was still trekking. You know, me, my wife, the protocols then, one is in the UK. Maybe some of you now, Dio was a protocol. There is still a protocol now. There were scooters down here, Mavis, before Emieshun be a year. You get it when you get home. They will see us to the road here. They will help us stop car. We will enter 15 naira. We will stop at Lafay. We will trek from Lafay to Okiogba. I'm not saying welcome to Okiogba. I'm saying even more than evergreen. So faith will carry Okiki. And the pain I had then was witnessing my wife and my child trek. It was very painful. By the time we got home, in fact, when we finished meeting 7:30, by the time we got to the house, got to Lafay, maybe like 8, we'll now trek. Then by the time we now, some of those nights, when we now finish trekking, gas will now finish in the night. There's nothing you can do. Very deep inside Okiogba. If you get to Okiogba, just take a bike and you say when you get to Okiogba, you are still taking a bike to Evergreen. Still far from Evergreen, but you can pass a back road. But one thing that kept me going, I understood that it was my time of youth. Imagine me doing it now. Now I can't. Guess what? Now I can't even enter a car that there's no AC. My eyes will be turning me. When the Lord turned back the captivity of Zion, they're like they that dream. I can't travel via motor. How many times have you heard it before? That Papa is going to Abuja, he's going via bus. Me. As at like 3 years ago, I would collect the complete seat of one line, and everybody will sit behind me, sit in front of me, and I'll lie down. Not because I was humming, but because I could not cope. Some things you see as extravagant, but the rich cannot cope because they've paid the price. Now I can't even imagine myself. I was supposed to be in Lagos last weekend. Because of the work here and all those stuff, there was no money with me. And there was no flight. I was supposed to see my daughter before she goes to London, UK. And I didn't want to tell her, unless she'll be watching this. I wanted to just surprise her. So I cancelled it. Because I can't imagine myself in bus. Now, I'm not saying there's a problem with those of you in bus. I didn't say so. And I can't drive to Lagos because Lagos is survival of the fittest. They will just crash the car, still beat you on top. I don't want anything like that. But the reason why you can survive in those cars is because you are going through hard time. Go through it. Now turn my tongue. I can't survive in even normal car. If I'm not driving, I'll be at the back trying to just manage. For me to survive in a car, I need to drive, or I'll just be managing at the back because my eyes are turning me, my stomach my stomach is turning me. It's not forming. And the day you begin to enter plane, that day you will begin to understand what I'm saying. The soap you used to bathe in Akure will still be smelling in your body when you get to Ikeja. Your cream will still be smelling in your body when you get to Ikeja. Try it and see. But when you go through the bus, the strength you used to leave Akure, you have, in fact, by the time you get home, they are welcoming. Hello, mommy. Why, because your parents know you soon die. You don't feel like you traveled. All your gator, they are still there. You just get there, they check you in, you sit down, you line up, you enter. People you are even seeing in the plane, you are happy. You are seeing people. Look at the bus. Heaven. Now it's funny, right? You may miss an encounter if you have not gotten to the level and you are doing it. That's why we have many fools with money. Fools with money. While I was poor, there was nobody to show off for. Now I'm rich, I'll not be showing off for you. When I was listening to some things that some of you were saying here on site, and I had a drink called Azu. How people will buy it. How people will buy it. My God. And I can just look at you and I know that you will die poor. Go and look at the real rich people. They don't do that. When was the last time you saw $10? Now go to the club and say, now I'm shutting down this club. It's a fool that does that. A fool. Or $10 has money. More than the family of this fool. And including if they use his head for money to support the family too. Or $10 money, see more than it. Yet you never see your $10. Dangote, Adenuga do that. But fools, it's always youth. Because they have no experience. They go, they do it. And by the time they've done that, give them 5 years. Give them 5 years. Was it Mr. Biola? Mr. Biola was saying something and I had him too. Some people were bragging as a last 2 years that they can never be poor in their life. I remember one of my friends too. A lot of them, they'll put it on their status. I was now thinking that maybe the God I'm serving is China made. Maybe it's Abba made in China. Because I will pray, nothing. Them, they were, that time of MMM, K-Nation, they were having 14 million, 12 million. And I began to wonder, is it China made? I remember myself now. I remember then, I'll come outside in Leo and I'll be praying. I'll burst into tears. Lord, I want to serve you with this money. These people are just using it to put on status and say, I can never be poor in my life. Say, poverty is a bastard. Just know that the guy just had 3 million. Poverty is a bastard. God punished poverty. And I say, this my God must be China made. But today, encounter. If there's something you must miss in your life, you can miss anything, but not encounter. I know there's a man for every woman, but there's a certain man for every woman. I know there's a woman for every man, but there's a certain woman. Hey, that you think you'll be married though, you think about her and bite your finger. Encounter. Don't be so careless. How many of them invest? How many? Then they were shouting about. Even birthday, they'll bring hype man. Now it's a career. They'll bring hype man. They'll be hyping and hyping and hyping. Then some people will be proving. Fools! The owner of the club did not spend. You went there, you spent to the extent where they are using broom to pack your resources. I'm not cursing you. It's already there. They are using broom to pack your earning, and they pack everything, and it goes to the account of the club owner. Encounter. Many of you, the people you envy, they are coming back to work at your gate. It's not a curse. Because they've missed it. They've missed it. And by the time you look at them, then you will now thank God. You are like this because your own time has not come. But when it comes, that's why I'm preparing you. When it comes. I have a friend, he's a man of God. He has times 10 of the money. He saw times 10 of the money I saw. He has seen times 100. I was still in the university when he was seeing money. He was in 200 level when he bought a car for his father. A prophet too. That's why I'm telling you that maybe I was serving China-made God. But he would just carry himself and he would go to the hotel and he say, let me cool off for 2 weeks. He will stay there in the hotel and cool off for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, you'll be there cooling off. And we all know how they charge in hotel. All of a sudden, all of the followers began to leave him. Because who follows a man that goes to cool off 2 weeks? You have not even seen cares of life. You are not married. You are not frustrated in life. You are already cooling off for 2 weeks. Today as I speak to you, I don't know where this message can get to. So I comment my reserve. I'm giving you practical examples so you know that it's not a message. It's an advice. I remember one time they invited me somewhere. I didn't know. I turned it down. Do you know why I turned it down? I turned it down because I felt like, the stress. Going to Ghana. Oh, and the lady called me and said, sir, he said, we'll book your flight from Abuja down to Ghana. Return. He said, we have kept a place for you to stay in Ghana. Just pray for us for 2 days. I didn't even pray. I said, I beg, Ghana. After like 4 months, somebody that was around said, sir, why didn't you come then? I said, Ghana, I beg. He said, sir, they kept 4 million naira to honor you with. I'm talking about like 2014 or 2013. 4 million naira then to honor you with. All my mind is like, if I could turn. And I know how I treat money. I'm not a fool. I'm talking to every one of you based on the fact that I know that you don't have helpers. While some of you are more privileged, like some of us, than some of us rather. But for some of you that we are in the same level, that if you slum now, we'll call your uncle and your uncle will say we should send him recharge card to be able to call your father. Have sense. All my uncles will do the same. If I slum now, you call them, hey, uncle, Prophet Sinbo, just that. Ah! Aye la o. Jo, so le sare ba mi se 200 naira. Ki sare pe baba e. If you are like me and you don't have helper, you should have sense. The worst people to advise. I think I shared it here. A woman that is following a prophet. A woman that is in love, don't even go to that one. That one, you are wasting your time. They will come to my office and say, Papa, he slapped me. I don't know what should I. And I say, just break up. Okay, sir. Then they call me after 2 weeks. Sir, we have settled. So now I understand. When a lady comes and says, sir, give me relationship advice. I say, that thing that is in your mind, do it. Because that's what you still do. The third one is a man that has money. They never hear you. They feel you are a fool. They feel you are a fool. So they go for useless unnecessities. That's why I said something on Sunday. I said, I don't respect anybody that used to have money and come down. I respect those that have money and continue because they understand a mystery. But this other one is a money misroad. I don't know how you feel all of a sudden that you want to intimidate somebody now that you are blessed. So they buy shoes. I saw an Air Max of $20,000 today. And you know, I was just trying to look at the shoe. $20,000. And it was in the hand of a celebrity. And some people are carried away. And they begin to $20,000. Even the mat of Aladdin is not that expensive. You know that mat that carry them to fly? It's not that expensive. $20,000. And you think you are intimidating us. Some of you come here, you think you are intimidating who? Just wait. Give us time. Give time. Some people will go back to the gate. And they begin to tell their children, at my time, all you have is that picture you snap in the hotel and you collected hotel. You have a house. You collected hotel and you are running like 1 million naira there. You will show your children how you brought out tongue to the right. And you tell them, this ruined my life. One of my son here, one time, all his friends, they were up and they were enjoying money. I called him. I said, do you know the meaning of me, Okimbolo di Brukuni? I said, I know you have the money. Go and buy land. He's the owner of the land here. I said, go and buy land. He said, where should I buy? I said, I don't know. I'm not a land agent. I don't know. But buy land. Buy land. Because as a then, I know there's nothing I tell him to invest in. He will not really get what I'm saying. I say, buy land. Buy land. Buy land. Guess what? They told me about the land in this street, 7 million. I went there. I begged the woman. The woman thought I was the one buying the land. When she had this church, say, Pastor, because of you, bring 3.5. I paid her 3.5 million. I stood up, I cleaned my knees. It didn't reduce my height. I cleaned my knees. I gave that my son the document. Guess what? Now he's broke. His friends are broke. The land now is 7 million. Opportunity. But when I see young children and they think they are intimidating us, I just laugh. Say, the guy, some of you are carried away by nonsense. He's using jelly coop. If I have money now, I'll do jelly coop. Jelly. Even the speed in the GLE coupe, you can't run it. If not, you will run into eternity. You will be running, you just hear, next. See, they have judged the people in front of you. Now is your time. You can't run it. People will gather money, and buy a wicked Lamborghini. And you'll be looking at them. First of all, which road are you going to use it? In this same Nigeria we are. They are missing opportunity. They are coming back to the gate. Most of those opportunities are supposed to give you an advantage. And God is so merciful that He creates that opportunity for everybody, not just you. For everybody. And some people make use of theirs. In your presence there is anointing. Your spirit moves around me. In your presence, anointing breaks. There's a yoke of stupidity on youth. Some of them, they had serious money. They'll go and buy lion. One of the stupid things you shouldn't buy. The lion cannot be 4 years. You pet it and say, lion, 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 lion. You become the meal. They'll buy it and they begin to slay goats for the lion, to feed the lion. Leave lion for zoo. Leave lion for zoo. Leave lion for king. Do you know how kings feed lion? Kings feed lion because people will bring goat. You are comparing yourself with somebody that gets it free. Just like you want to compare clothes with me, Papa. You are a fool. You compare shoe with me, I will choke you. I will choke you and I will not know. Do you know why? By the time you go and sew the kind of my clothes and they collect 14, 15, 25 from you, I got it free. I just sent, I think through faith, I just sent some shoes to Lokoja. To some persons. I get them free. Free. A lot of the designers here and not CSF, they have my measurement. They're so manner. I get them free. Then you want to be competing. That's how most of us do. We are trying to compete with some people we don't know their source. No, I got it free. You see wash, I got it free. Except my boxers I bought. As I'm standing like this, except my boxers I bought. Everything is free. Even my haircut is free. When you see me and I left my hair, it's not because I don't want to barb it. It's not because I don't have money to barb it. It's you that barb with money. It's free. It's free. At my convenience. I think I spent close to 2 years before I entered barbing salon. The last time I barb. And by the time I got there again, I came back again. And now, I barb in my house, in the office. It's free. That's how some people's money are. Those that you are trying to compete with. But at the tail end of it, you realize that you are a fool. Some people see clothes with Davido. They go and buy. These guys' generation, they are bloodily rich. Your father was a principal. Bloody principal that the government is owing. Then you wear the same clothes you are doing. Kokboke, Akbar. Do you know the most painful thing when I preach this kind of messages? The same set of persons that laugh now, they will call me the next 3 days and they waste money. And I'll just shake my head. I say, my God. But for the few that used to hear me, I've never seen anybody taking my advice. Because even me, sometimes I play my message and I take my own advice. That's the secret of that message I preach. Learn to take your advice. Nothing down. Some of you, all you have for 2019, 2020, 2021 is stories. Sir, 2019 like this. Get out! we are not involved in, we don't want to hear. What did you achieve? What was your achievement? What were the things you put in place? It will take another season. Another season before you see those kind of things. If you notice, most of I was speaking to one of my sister-in-law in the UK, and she told me, he said, I just want to say something. He said, 10 years ago, there was this opportunity of one kind of money, whatever. And he said, but everything, look, and plenty people were blessed by it, and plenty people had problem. After 10 years, MMM came. You know, there was flow. Are you seeing the season? You never know when the season will come again. Use your head. Go and ask everybody that is big that you see now. They made use of season. Season. They held on to it and it became productive. And go and ask a failure. They wasted season. They bought things they didn't need. Somebody was making comparison between Shina Peter and Zenith Bank. Is this Zenith Bank? And Shina Peter. At that time, the same money that says Zenith Bank is the same money that Shina Peter had. He bought cars. The cars are rotten now. Zenith Bank. If they endorse Shina Peter today, his life can never remain the same as in the same Zenith Bank. Think. If you don't have help, think. Those of you ladies that date those brothers, you too think. Hey, because you have plan B, I'll just leave the idiot and marry somebody else. And the guy doesn't know that you have plan. If you do, if truly this is your real plan, you will tell him, oh yeah, let's leave this hotel. Let's leave this hotel. What are you cooling in this your head? You carry him away. You need to see how my wife. Thank you. You need to see how my wife talk to me in some issues. Because she planned her life with me. Then they bring chicken, you dey chop. Then they bring rice, different color, you dey chop. Then they bring burger, you dey chop. Mayonnaise, you dey chop. Tea, wine, you dey chop. Everything you dey chop. The wine that Jesus shared for the people, Jesus by himself, is not up to the price of that azu. They are deceiving you. What is here? They brought a glass and they painted it white, and morons are buying it. They now use blue paint to do it. What are you buying? Mama is suffering in the village. Families are suffering in the village. You are living large. Can your mother pray for you if she hear what you just prayed this night? Shall you see that you are cursed? Your mother may not hear, but her spirit is there. She's repeating one cloth, tying one wrapper. Mama Kponla Shobi Akparo. You are there. They are hyping you. They are hyping you. Can your father that needs money to change his engine? Now his engine is like a reviver is going on in the engine. To show you that it's a reviver, not just the sound. You know, when you are having some kind of revival in White Garment, you used to cook. You see the smoke is coming out from the exhaust. They are cooking in your father's engine. When your father is miles away, we all know that your father is here. And the son is spraying money that will buy the latest car. I've said something before. You know, I used to say it. Then when I use iPhone 13 Pro Max, then I say it again. Not all of us need 13 Pro Max. Not all of us. It's just that we are stupid. Africa is stupid, so they ship every junk to Africa. By the time I was using iPhone 13 Pro Max, I realized that it's just fast. Except you have business with it. Some of you don't even go to internet. like me, what's the usefulness of it to me? Don't think because I say this, I'm buying iPhone 14. I'll soon buy it. Guess what? You want to compete with me? Not with my money. I sat down here in church. Somebody brought iPhone 13. I sat down here in church. Somebody brought it. Papa has iPhone 13. I don't have iPhone 13. Fine, don't worry. Go and buy. Go and buy. Money that you are supposed to use to invest in your life. See opportunities. One of my sons told me something. He said, sir. He said, sir, I wish I've known you for some time now. He said, as last year, you were there. He said, I had over 10 million naira and there's nothing I'll do with it. 10 million. That's a life-changing money. Many of you have even had more. What did you do with it? You were proving people wrong. The moment the money comes to the hand of a fool, the first thing you know a fool, he does not know his waist anymore. He's hag. They begin to manage, try so that the trouser will not fall down. Because he's a fool. Then they invite him everywhere. Then they begin to sing. Then he comes outside. He begins to. I told you one of the story of my family. Somebody in my family. She was working somewhere. And she had a lot of money. She had a lot. Trust white garment. My origin is there. When Olusha see you like this, and you guess what? Hey, they will give you a post that nobody's using again in heaven. You direct. It's either you'll be chairman. If there's already chairman that has one, you'll be assistant chairman. If there's already chairman that has one, you assistant chairman or door. Assistant chairman to logmo. Chairman to show. They will look for something and hang you with it. That's how this my sister-in-law. They were carrying her from white garment to white garment. If you see gold all over her neck. And she was living in room and parlor, not knowing that it was a season. Room and parlor. In Ajegule. I had, in my family, when you have money, you have become Oluomo. I had the Oluomo sprang up in my family. Who is it? They called the name. Then I began to drop my own account number. My God. They will look at my account number and ignore. Hey. Hey. They will look at it and ignore. I was still in school. No problem. They will get to this church on behalf of my family. The women. Just try. If you see a woman that is. They'll do their. I donate this, I donate that. I donate this, I donate that. All of a sudden, fraud case rise. Police came. Stood on the account. Stood on everything. Collected everything to the extent where they could not pay for the 2-bedroom they collected. So they had to relinquish one room and pack inside one room. I'm saying people that you see euros, dollars, pounds with them. Nothing to show. Hey, the person that say Alejo Lowo, there's a way you treat visitor. If you don't treat the visitor well, they'll leave you. Very right. Some of you, your major problem is what you have been looking at. At all this Instagram, you see a celebrity buy a pen. A pen, 1.5 million. You are looking for the pen. A belt, 3.6 million. You are looking for the belt. A sweater. Is it not to keep cold? Go to Akube. You see thicker one. Even the one that bike men use is 800 naira. One, two. A sweater. And they will call it some kind of amount. Some people can buy it. Fine. I'm not against you that can buy it. But you must sustain first before you buy it. Do I buy luxury? Yes. 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 He said, if everything you get is free. Is it free? You got your chair. I bought it. But I can be choosing to be buying my chair every month. I can be choosing to buy it till I die. As every month I'll buy that chair. Every other month I'll buy that chair. Every other month. Can you? Know your size. If your size is Infinix, go for Infinix. There's one of my son here. There was this money that he had been expecting, and it came. And he said he wants to buy phone. We still spoke yesterday night. You know, he's one of all these broker, you know. Because when I say money expected, some of you are already thinking Yahoo. Because you have shallow mind. By the time he got this money, I say, so which one will you? Sometimes when I throw question to you, I want to see how wise you are with how you answer me. If the money that is with him is with some of you, it's 14, iPhone 14. I asked the guy, I said, which one will you buy? He said, Papa, Infinix, Tito now. I was like, okay. What kind of Infinix? He said, Akosha 4G. I said, this guy will be a wealthy man in my heart. Try some people. Yeah, now. Yeah. My God. That's how they'll not keep it again in their pocket. Too. They'll not raise it up. During service, so they are doing selfie. Your ugly face. You are videoing your ugly face. You are still saving it. What you should not see. Do you think it's one of the greatest miracles God gave to some people is that you cannot see your own face? Let others see it. Making unnecessary videos. Trying to impress people. Imagine if I was competing. Then somebody buy this car. Then me I buy this car. Maybe we'll be looking for money to roof here. Then how will you feel? When God's people are in the rain and I'm in range. How would you feel? Let me tell you something. Now it's not even about me. I've started securing my future with investment in some of you. Some of you, if I die today, you take care of my children. Some of you have even made the pledge to me. And I just laugh over it. So imagine if I didn't give you that money to start up your business. If I didn't give you ideas. If I didn't invest in your life. Like something that's raining in Kogi. Pastors there, they just have. I've never seen a place like Kogi in my life. A pastor can have Mopo like 6 and his members are 60. You just see Mopo everywhere. Mopo everywhere. What are you? How come you just feel down? Everybody want to kill you. Stupid mentality. You just feel they want to kill you. And we pray for people. And we decree you are protected this week. And we carry Mopo. Don't think because I say it, I will not carry it. I'll carry Mopo. But not now. My car barely can fit my family. Where will Mopo enter? Maybe you will take bike and carry AK-47 and be following me at the back. Don't be stupid. You are carrying Hilux. Mopo everywhere. Was it last year? Was it last year? I asked how much could, last 2 years first. How much could I Mopo? They told me. Last year. I said, okay. How much would I Mopo? They told me. I imagine. Who would want to kill me? Because at this level I am now, if you pursue me, we can last. Don't be happy I'm running. I'm running to carry my own. I thought about it that if now I carry Mopo, in the next 10 years, I'll be with the strongest force. Boko Haram. Yes, now. Don't you know? Strongest force is Boko Haram. Maybe that next 10 years, I'll be carrying like 10 Boko Haram. They'll be following me. So pastors too have their excesses. It's not just you. It's not just you. Sometimes, let life develop you by itself. We developed into Tama. That's the Tama we kept in that corner. Tama Imperial. Oh, some of you don't know Tama. Oh, like basic corner, that's Tama Imperial. Because we have grown. We have outgrown it. Tama Imperial. That you will see in mega church. Although these drummers are drunkards. They can't tune it. When you are hearing it, like those synagogue, Living Faith, headquarters, is Tama Imperial. That's what we kept there. And we carry the logo. We use it to face the altar. Only the choir can see it. That's how sometimes grow. How about people that rented houses in Lekki, 7.5 million for 1 year? Is it for a lifetime? 7.5 million. And they say, no, the house come with AC. The house come. Even the air that I breathe from heaven is free. Now, nothing to show. If you still have all this mentality, you will miss appointed time of encounter that is supposed to bet more. Imagine now that you are trying to travel abroad. Imagine that time when you were worth 20 million and you traveled abroad. It would have been very easy. But that time you refuse not to, because your friend is a baller and you too, you want to be a baller. Then you have stupid girl that want to ruin your life too, dating you. Then all of you, baller. Then now your eyes are open. Then it's remaining 1.2. You are trying to work visa. And you expect the visa country to look at your 1.2 in your account and say, come to my country. They know you want to come and hustle. Opportunity. Don't be like that. Have you learned something this night? Put your hands together for Jesus. Why am I like this? I told you, I said at the end of the service, you know why I'm like this. Why am I like this? If you know me, Sinbo Ogunji, if you know me, I never miss opportunity. My pastors know. Are they lie? Don't try me. Don't try me and you give me 15 million. If you give me, I'm working on site like this and you give me 15 million, I'll wash my hand off this thing. I'll wash my leg. I'll call one person. That's how I operate. I'll call one person and say, come follow me. By the time I'm coming back to that work on site, we are broke. You don't know me. I will live there. By the time I'm coming back, we are broke. I've bought something. Peradventure some money come. I've already priced lands. I think I was talking to you about one land in your junction. And I've made my choice. I said, I'll buy this. Maybe these 2 plots. Or less, maybe these 2 plots. We'll just buy. But peradventure. If you think I'm joking, why am I 15 million? See. If tomorrow I didn't ask you for 250 naira, call me bastard. Then I carry 15 million. And I go to internet and snap picture and say, yeah. And I know there's no way to continue. Yeah. The guy that competed with Davido recently was caught in Ikeja selling his laptop. How many of you saw the video? Sakwana bastard. The guy was all that hair that he was doing, that style like Igumen and Agbaye, everything came down. Humility, even Sakwa relaxed the hair. Everything came down. Some of you have wasted opportunity a lot. Some of you are just regretting. Guess what? You are still young. Why is God allowing you to hear this message? Because another opportunity is about to hit you. Can I shock you? I have mastered the ability to understand timing to the extent where I know when money is to come. So I called some of my son and I say, this time we are now, I say it's money time. If you notice R.O from August, September, October, November, December, money. You are one of us. It will show up again. And I just pray that you don't go back to your old ways. You buy jacket. People buy jacket of 50,000. 50,000 naira, buy jacket. Even coat of many colors was free. As I am like this, if people choose not to give me clothes, I will iron the former one I have. I'll stash it. I bought iron, expensive one. I will iron it to straight. If we pay you, sew and bring. I'm not impressing anybody. Do you know there are people online, people that were with me in Kogi, people online, they don't even know how rich I am. These people that are watching now, they don't, because I don't do on those internet things. I don't show this, I have this, I have that, I have this. A man of God called me. Let me share this story here. A man of God on my birthday, he called me. And he was doing like a boss. I kept quiet. And he said, man of God, how are you doing? I said, fine. Man of God, as it's your birthday, I want to give you a gift. So, and he was my junior while we were in school. I didn't even get him out, even when we did there. So, okay. So I was still humble. I said, oh, thank you so much. He said, I'm going to send you 10,000 naira. I said, thank you. No. The 10,000 is not the insult. That's the gift he has. It's not the insult. Thank you very much. He said, I'll forward your number to my PA to send you 10,000. I was angry. I told my wife, I said, should I just add 90,000 and send it to this guy 100? Then I called Ubago. I said, talk to this boy. It's like this boy don't decrease. Me to your PA. Now me they do all those for me for. Your PA will now send me 10,000. Your PA will not need a fear. Me, because I don't do all those things online, internet. Then I'll be showing my bank account. I'll be showing cars, showing. This guy is even using Corolla. I can never enter in my life. Miss Akande Corolla. Say he go give PA to. I wanted to insult the PA to send him to the boss. Because number one, this is pride. This guy is broke. I know him. Why PA? So I'm taking the slap based on the fact that you are a man of God and I respect you. Now he's PA. PA will now collect my PA will talk to me. I'll now forward my account number. PA will say, I can bless the PA's family. If he's as blessed as me, he will not be PA to you that is broke. I hate nonsense. PA, me. When I told Ubago called him and told him, he said, I didn't know. And one of my friends, when he had it, he said, all of us are boy of God. You are the only man of God. I laugh. I said, me too, I'm boy of God though. Because those are the ones that know me. Online, nobody can boast except you know me personally. Even in this church, you can't boast that you know me. Because I don't have anything to come and flatter you with. And I come and I throw money about. Then, who help? We are looking for how to drop a legacy. How to make our children not suffer. How to make our children not enter line for jump. They line up like this for jump. Jump online. They say, we will not see your result after all the suffer. Some, they didn't even mark it. They say you score 70. They see only English. They say you score 70. And the cut-off mark is do something. Many of you that you are doing engineer, whatever here. Some people here, they are embalming dead body. Which of you chose that from the beginning of your life? Because there was an error with your father somewhere. Which of you that are studying how to embalm dead body, which of you chose that from the beginning of your life? Now you are in foot and you are embalming dead body. Instead of you to have sense, you are buying jacket of 300,000, 100,000. Your children too will embalm, maybe embalm goat. Do you need to be a seer to know that my children cannot spend over 16 years here except I want them to? I'm already making the relationship. Many of you call me and say, Papa, how is Okiki? Okiki should be 16 now. Bring Okiki. Because then I've prayed for you. You are wealthy. I am wealthy. You are the ones that Okiki will see and say, rich uncle. Except for stupid ones. Then they'll stay at the gate. Our fathers didn't make this preparation for us. Now you are eating opportunity. You are thinking you are intimidating us. As you buy the palm. One of my son here, God bless you. I love you. He's here now. He bought me one palm, so I asked the price. And he told me, I said, this way for give me this money, man, take chop. Tell somebody, I didn't come to impress you. Tell someone else, I didn't come here to impress you. Ask somebody, I know you before. You see, when I buy my Range Rover, most possibly this year, I'm speaking faith. I no get. When I buy it, don't think I want to intimidate anybody. I'm just at the top. That's why I'm a topic. Don't think. I bought it because the shock absorber is strong and the road to my house is bad. Simple. Not because I want to intimidate. You are too small. I can't be living my life to intimidate you. How long will I do it? How much do I get? How much? Is my name on $10? Live your life. Invest in your future. Don't maltreat your children the way you are maltreated. Don't. Have you learned something? If you forget anything here, remember something. You see this time, it runs very fast.